Hello, I'm Matt Orr with Wet Ink Games, and today we're going to be talking in this video about how do you make a moral compass. So, if you watched our other video about the creation of Albert, the Shakespearean lion actor con man guy, this is his character sheet right here, and so he's we're gonna complete the moral compass because we didn't do that in the other video. It's a little more involved, and we wanted to give it its own focus because we think it's one of the most unique and uh, parts of the game that we've created here is that this whole alignment slash experience system. So we're going to give it a spotlight in just a second. All right, so here we have the moral compass, a blank moral compass that we got to fill in. The moral compass information starts on page 45 of the rulebook here. And with the part that there's a bit of explanation there. The important stuff starts on the next page where you actually have the different axes. So we have 8 different axes that you are going to use. You're going to pick 4, and those will become the 8 spokes of the moral compass. The different axes are supposed to function like a potential story arc. So if we just take one, for example, the first one off the top of this page here, compassion to power. Maybe your character's moving from a place of compassion where you care about other people to a place of power where you're concerned about influencing other people through your own strength rather than trying to relate to them in a personable way. Or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe you've been a powerful character and you're moving toward compassion. But that's either way, either you're going from one to the other or from the other to the one. It's a story arc that you might be telling with your character. That's one potential story arc. You're going to pick 4 of these. So for Albert, our artist, Shakespearean actor slash con man, sneak thief, I think that though he's a liar and a cheat, I think the most important motivation for him is actually truth, because he knows that about himself. He knows that he's kind of a jerk, and so he's pursuing that to its fullest. That he's interested in truth because he's trying to remain honest to himself. So that is his primary motivation. That's the story he's on. He's pursuing truth from wherever he is. So we're going to put truth here at the top of the moral compass in the true north position. The true north is just your starting motivation. It's the thing you're going after the most, at least to start. When you get an opportunity to rebuild your moral compass later, you can change it. But if truth is his north, that means that his south motivation is falsehood, because that's the opposite side of that particular arc. Truth to falsehood. So one is north, the other is south. Now we've got to pick 3 more. I'm looking over the other ones here that we have. I think wealth to sacrifice is going to be part of his story because he's a con man. He's trying to scam people out of their stuff. He wants to get that for the wealth. He hasn't really learned how to give stuff up. He's only learned how to take in his life. So wealth is one of his things. Again, that makes sacrifice, puts on the opposite side. The other north motivations, northeast and northwest, can sort of be thought of as like your secondary motivations. If truth is the first thing that Albert is going for, then one of the other ones, the ones that are next to it, are sort of the secondary ones. And again, that creates an axis from wealth to sacrifice. Survival, growth. I think another one is going to be survival to growth. And we're going to put the growth side up here. I think Albert thinks of it as he wants to expand himself. He wants to get better at his craft, both his lying and his acting. So growth is the thing that he's looking for. which again, the other side of growth is survival, which puts survival down here in the opposite side. I like to think of the east-west motivation as sort of the other motivation, the surprise motivation, the thing that isn't really, you're not really pursuing either one, but since they're both equally far from the north, you might go either way on it. For him, I think we want him to be a little bit overtly dangerous because he's in with this criminal element. So I think defense to destruction is a good one to put there. Like he might be just as likely to defend somebody as he is to attack them. And there we go. We have 4 of the axes selected and arranged, and now we have a completed directional choice options for the moral compass. All right, now that we have the moral compass motivations filled in, we need to fill in the rewards. The motivations are like the alignment system. They tell you what kind of story elements your character is going to move toward, the things that your character, how your character will respond in the setting. The rewards part of the moral compass is like the experience system. That's going to tell you how your game stats change the more you move toward the elements that you've chosen for your motivations. So here on page 48, 49, 50 are the 8 rewards. There's only 8, so you're going to have all of them on your moral compass. You just have to decide where you're going to put them. So again, if truth is the thing that Albert is most interested in, then it's the most likely thing that he'll be pursuing. So the stat that he wants the most is the reward that we should put there. Now, I was looking over the rest of the character sheet, and I think he's got several skills which are tied to Moxie, like Streetwise and his bluffing skill, but his Moxie is only 3, which is it's pretty low. So I think the number one thing that he'll want for the future going forward is to increase that attribute. So increase an attribute by 1 point is one of the things you can choose. So we're going to put it here under truth, which is his number 1 motivation. We're going to put that he wants to get 1 point of Moxie. Unlike the axes, there's nothing that automatically ties to. You just have to put them all in yourself. You can kind of go through, you can do it either way you want. You can go through kind of matching up from the next most wanted things, or you can just kind of go through the book and choose where things are going to fall. Sometimes you do a mix of both. Not really sure what we need for him. Let's see. He's got notoriety and cash, maybe things that he would want. And pick a new perk, or overcome a quirk. I think assign a new skill die. That's also a pretty good one. I think I'm going to put gain notoriety as his number 2. And I'm going to tie it to growth because I think that kind of thematically goes together. As he gets more famous, or as he gets better acting, he'll get more famous. Makes sense. It's also pretty obvious if you have wealth on your chart, you can tie a cash reward to it. But I think I'm actually going to do something else. I think I'm going to give him a skill die there. So he'll want to assign another skill die, and probably in search. So I think we can explain it by searching. He's trying to, it's his wealth motivation because he's trying to pick out his people. He's trying to notice his marks. He's trying to find out who's really susceptible to his traits. So it's tied to the wealth motivation, but it's going to be skill die in the search skill. I think I am going to put wealth to have more cash on hand. I think I'm going to put that over here under defense. let's give him an animal ability under destruction. These aren't necessarily things that he's going to be likely to pursue. So these are things that I'm not necessarily as concerned that he's going to get. The same with the other things. Learn skill. We have to put it somewhere. Let's put it on the direct opposite of his truth, because he's not necessarily... He thinks he's pretty good with his skills already. He doesn't need anything else. Maybe it's the pilot skill. People tell him he should learn to fly, and he's like, no, I don't know. I don't think so. What else have I missed? We got animal ability, we got skill die, got overcome a quirk, there we go. So let's put survival, let's tie that to health. That kind of makes sense thematically. And sacrifice is going to be the get a new perk. Let's say maybe he's trying to join a guild, so he'll have the club perk. He's trying to get in with some other actors and stuff. So there we go. Now we have the rewards completed. Alright, so there you go. Now you've seen how to assemble a moral compass, how to choose your axes, and how to assign the rewards. And we'll have another video showing you just exactly how you spend your plot points and how this all works in the game. Thanks for watching.